All right, it is day 4 of this daily vlog, and today I'm going to try to keep this really short, and I'm going to talk about 5 reasons why I'm actually doing this daily vlog in this format. Again, I want to say this up front for people who might come back and watch this later. This is not really intended to be something for other people to watch. It's not really meant to be that interesting. I don't really think that I'm just inherently that interesting where I can just talk to the camera and journal my thoughts and it'd be a screen recording like this with no production value, no storytelling, and that's worth watching. It's worth watching for me. And one of my rules, if I'm going to do this, is it has to be for me first. So I thought, why not? If I'm going to start doing this, I might as well start with something that's useful for me first. Okay, so here are a few of the reasons why this is going to be useful for me. One, I get to talk out my ideas. And one of the problems right now that I'm running into is that I don't have a lot of like-minded friends who think the same way that I do or who think about the same things that I do. And it's hard for me to have conversations with people about some of these things. Now, it's not that I don't have any friends. I do have some, and we do talk about these things occasionally, but it's always extremely valuable for me whenever these happen. And it seems like these conversations are too few and far between. One of the things that's valuable about talking to my friends is not even the feedback that they give me, but the fact that I vocalize something out loud and it lets me hear it. Not just think it, but actually hear it being said. Or I realize that when I'm saying it, it sounds ridiculous, or I think of the answer to my own questions whenever I say it out loud. So just saying something out loud, I think has a lot of value, and I don't think it will replace true friendship and people who understand context and know my tendencies and can give me that kind of feedback. But I do think that it at least gets some of the value of having these conversations, right? So talk about my ideas out loud. 2 is going to be just habit forming. So I want to get in the habit of uploading daily. I want to get in the habit of talking to the camera, looking at the camera, being comfortable with the way that I record things so that this doesn't seem weird. Right now, in my closed environment of my office where there's no one else around and it's just me talking to the webcam, this is really easy. I do this all the time for my clients and for creating videos for education, for SEO and things like that. So I've gotten really comfortable with this kind of conversation, but I think that usually I'm talking about something specific, and it's a little bit different whenever I'm talking about a topic, well, like SEO, or I'm going over an audit recap with a client or something like that. So I want to get used to just talking conversationally to a camera to the point where it is a lot like just talking conversationally to a friend. It's really helpful for me to kind of hear my tone whenever I listen back to this, and to be able to see my face. And there are certain little things that I do that I find annoying, and I'm trying to kind of just be really conscious of those things to the point where I'm making the observation and thinking about how I might be able to improve. I think this is going to help with my public speaking. I think this is going to help with more advanced blogs that I might do later, or vlogs that I might do later, videos, any kind of content that I'm putting out. I really think this is helpful for me to practice. I think it's also going to help me get a little bit more comfortable with that weird feeling of talking to the camera in public, like vlogging when I'm out and about. If I'm just so used to this that I can kind of tone out the surroundings or tune out the surroundings, then hopefully it's going to be a little bit easier. So anyway, that's number 2. Number 3. So I feel like once I do this for a month or so, it's going to be like, wow, I'm glad I just started. I've been talking about this for at least 3 months, but probably a lot longer than that. And I'm always like, well, I'll start whenever I practice more with my camera, or whenever I can get a computer that'll let me edit, or whenever I get to this certain quality of production or whatever. And it just doesn't happen. I just keep putting it off. So I feel like just getting started with something will be enough to propel me into doing something a little more polished and get better and better. And I think the momentum will carry me. Number 4, this point is proven so far in this video. I need to learn to refine. I need to learn not to talk so much. I talk so much and I just keep going on and on and on. And I think maybe the reason is because I don't prepare enough. And whenever I just keep talking is to cover up the fact that I'm not prepared, because I can talk a lot and I can make it sound like I know what I'm talking about, or like I thought about it a lot, or I prepared, but I didn't actually prepare. I'm just covering it up. And I feel like I'm doing it right now. But it's interesting because this goes back to point number 1, the first point, where I am saying this out loud. And whenever I said it out loud that I need to refine too much because I talk too, or refine more because I talk too much, it gave me that thought that I think I'm just covering up the fact that I didn't prepare. So it's already proving that this is working. And that was an insight that I didn't have before. It just came into my mind as I'm recording this video. And then number 5 is that I need to start learning how to shape my thoughts and ideas into stories. I need to be able to take something like even this video, where it's essentially 5 reasons why I think vlogging is important, and turn it into a little bit more of a storytelling video where I, cut this down, get these points shorter, maybe add some production value by maybe doing this in a couple different locations, or, even just using better camera and lighting, and, not having this Trello around me, and, I don't know, maybe some sound effects, or not sound effects really, but, background music or whatever. If I did all of that, had a thumbnail and made this a topic, this video would actually be valuable for someone, maybe. And I think as I think through just getting my thoughts out there, then turning them into not like stories, like once upon a time stories, but something that has a meaning or a purpose, if I can get some sort of purpose behind my videos, I think that it'll be much more interesting to watch, and that it will be valuable for someone other than me, while still retaining all of this value for me. So those are my 5 reasons for doing this right now. Sorry that this was long. I said I was going to keep this short. I was thinking like 3 minutes, and I don't know how long it's been so far, but it's probably been about 10 minutes. So anyway, I will be back tomorrow, and I'm thinking about trying something a little bit different. I'm not sure if I'll get to it tomorrow. If not, it'll be in the next few days. Other than like this, talking to the webcam with some website around me in this little circle. But I have an idea of something that I'll post that's really simple, just a little bit different style, but using the same webcam, mic, screen recording kind of stuff, just to kind of try a few things out and see how I can start taking the next steps. So I'll be back soon.